Linka change the call. Left service line. Ball is calling.
مرحبا بكم في برنامج عين الصقر، الحلقة الثالثة نستضيف فيها بنجامين حسن المصنف الأول في لبنان وأول لاعب لبناني في التاريخ يتأهل إلى الجدول الرسمي في رولان غاروس. Benjamin Hassan, welcome to our show, عين الصقر. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation and welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for letting me be here.
Okay, Benjamin, before we talk about your career, your recent achievements and your recent games, I want to start from the beginning. Mm-hmm. When and where did you start your journey and what inspired you to start tennis?
So I started in Germany, so I was born and raised in Germany. That's why my Arabic is not that good, unfortunately, and we can't do the interview in Arabic. Yes, so I started, I would say, with 6 years old, and my father brought me to tennis. My father, because he was also a Davis Cup player for Lebanon back then, and he is working as a coach in Germany. So yes, my whole family plays tennis. He taught every one of us. I have 4 more siblings. Everyone plays tennis. So that was actually the start. I started with 6, and everything happened in Germany.
So with your father being a former tennis player, was he the inspiration for you to continue and become a professional tennis player?
So yes, first yes, of course, he was always my idol. As I said, I started with 6 years old. I practiced, I would say, hard and a lot till I was 12, 13. And then there was a huge gap where I didn't play at all, where I didn't practice much. I lost a little bit interest in tennis. This was like 10 years. So 10 years I was a hobby guy. I played once a week with friends for the club where my father is giving lessons, where he's coaching. Really not a good level, not like club matches, but not a good level. It was just for fun. And then with 22 it started. When I was 22 it started.
But in that years, were you interested in other sports, or did you just like stopping tennis?
So no, interested in other sports, I wouldn't say so. Even now I don't follow many other sports. Maybe some MMA, maybe some, I don't know. But for example, I don't like soccer at all.
Okay.
It's not for me. I don't know. I used to play soccer because my mom put me there when I was younger. So I was a little bit chubby. I was a little bit overweight. She wanted me to run a lot, to get faster on the tennis court. But no, I actually never did anything as serious as tennis. So there was only tennis. Of course, I did some, I don't know, as I said, soccer. Then we had in the school, we had some volleyball or basketball. How do you say it?
Okay.
Gymnastics, where I was actually pretty good in school. But the interest was always tennis.
Okay, so what made you come back to tennis? Because you said at 22 years old, what made you have this desire to come back and play tennis?
So as I said, there was a huge gap. I lost interest in tennis, but I was still playing for fun. Like, I had fun playing tennis, but I just didn't see myself practicing hard and working hard. I was a lazy guy. So with 22, before I did my whole normal school, I finished my school. I started university in Germany to become a teacher for English and sport. So I did 4 semesters, and then with 22, there was a challenger tournament in Koblenz, where I was born, or where I was living. So it's my hometown in Germany. And the tournament gave me the wild card back there. So I started to practice a little bit. I didn't have much time, but a little bit. And I played against Gabashvili. I don't know if you know him. He was former top 50.
I think, I know. Yes.
I forgot the first name. Temuras Gabashvili. He was top 50. Back then he was around 200. So yes, I played him first round. I lost in 3 sets, but I was really playing well the first 1.5 sets. I was destroying him, to be honest. was like 6-2, and then break up also 3-2, 4-2, something like this. And then, of course, because I was not fit, I didn't practice a lot. I lost the match. But this was the turning point. I saw myself, okay, I didn't practice a lot. I stopped almost for 10 years, and I can still keep up on this good level. So why not try it? And then I tried it. I just stopped university because I said, okay, I can always finish. If it's not working with the tennis, I can always finish after the university. I can always restart again. Yes, and this was the start. This tournament gave me the start, the motivation to play tennis, to become a professional tennis player.
Okay, and since like tennis also is a very demanding sport, physically and financially, especially, how did you manage the financial and the logistical challenges in tennis?
Yes, it was tough because I'm not from a rich family, of course. So I had to figure out myself. Of course, my father helped me in the beginning with some money. He lent to me to travel, to go to my first tournaments. And then the most part actually in the beginning, where I was not good ranked outside 300, was with the Bundesliga, the German club matches, where we can get some money from playing some club matches. And this is how we actually planned it back then.
So there's a system in Germany of clubs where you can play for the club.
Exactly, and you get money, and then you can travel with that money. But of course, you have to do it clever, because if you spend everything in, I don't know, 1 month, you don't have any money at all. So it's tough traveling.
Of course.
The prize money is not that good, but it helps a little bit, or it was not that good back then. And also, what I have to say is, the tournaments I played before, the ITF Futures, for example, they were more expensive. In a sense of, you have to pay the hotel, which on the Challenger Tour you don't have to. So you're saving a lot of money. I was always traveling alone because I couldn't afford another coach or another person coming with me. It was tough. Sometimes hotels too much, slept in the car. Sometimes didn't string a racket because, I don't know, unnecessary.
It's very important to talk about these stories because a lot of people don't know these details. I heard a lot of stories of, like you said, players sleeping in the cars, not to be able to afford hotels, and like it's a very difficult sport, especially it's an individual sport. At what point did you see yourself climbing the rankings, and it was for you a turning point in your rise in the ATP rankings?
So when I started, actually, my first tournament after the Koblenz was also my first tournament outside of Germany. So I only played tournaments in Germany. It was in Belgium, 15K, I think I remember. I played straight final, so it was really good for me. And then a couple months later, I played the Doha Futures. I've played final and won the last one. So actually, in 1 year, I was ranked 500, which was good for me. I was very proud of that. From 0 to 500 in 1 year was for me. I was proud of that. But yeah, playing wise, like the potential I have, I've always seen my level. Like I have a huge confidence in my level when I'm playing good. The problem is more to find the consistency over the years, what the big guys did. Everyone can play good tennis and then beat good guys, but to keep at your highest for a long period of time, which is really tough. Even now, it's tough for me.
And especially for you, I was like now kind of surprised that you started taking it seriously until 22 years old. We know that a lot of tennis players, they start as very, very young age. In the first episodes with Moez, for example, he said that the Arab players, they don't go further because they don't start that early, and that's what makes them appear or achieve certain rankings in like old age, comparing to the other players that had more started in 4 or 5 years old and had the financial support. So what's the most difficult thing in the tour when you are still stuck in like outside of the top 500, top 400?
The most difficult? You're talking mentally?
Mentally and
Anything?
also logistics. Yeah.
So mentally, I think is believing in yourself that you can do it, which is very tough because you lose every week. You kind of lose hope when you lose a lot, and also against people where you shouldn't lose. And logistically, I would say how you schedule your tournaments is also very important. I made some couple mistakes the last few years even. Last year even I played too many tournaments. No energy anymore, less vacation, so I had very time to regenerate for the next season, and then I came to the next season very tired because the year before was tough, the year before that year was tough. So it's always important to find the balance in your schedule, in your tournament schedule. But also, of course, I mean, if you look at the top guys, how many tournaments they're playing per year? What do you think?
Well, I think they have, for the top guy, they have mandatory, I think, 7 Masters out of the 9, plus 4 ATP 500. So they play like 13, 11, 12, or 10 tournaments per year, I
Let's
guess.
say they play 16, 17, or let's say
Okay.
they play 20. I mean, it's much easier with 20 tournaments, and you have mandatory tournaments. You know where you're going to play. You know when to go there. You know when to prepare. You know the Grand Slams when you will play there. So you have tournaments, or they have tournaments where they can really structure everything. For me, or for players outside of 300-400 or 200, they don't know where to get in. So you always do it spontaneously. Even the big tournaments. I mean, Friday, you know where if you get in Dubai or Doha qualies for the ATPs. Saturday you have to play. So it's really tough. You need to find the balance there. You need to find someone, or also maybe get some help with someone who can help you with this. But yeah, if you, for example, me, I played around 40 the last 2 years, like 37 tournaments per year. And then with the Bundesliga, with the Davis Cup, then I played some French club matches also. It can be a long year. So, and also mentally, it's really tough. You can get close to burnout. So
Of course.
this one is very tough logistically, and then the mental part, to keep believing, to get the confident boost, because this is what you see with the upcoming players. I mean, they get one good win or one good, I don't know, flow, one good tournament, and then they are there. They believe in themselves, and they keep on playing good. So these two things are the most important, I would say.
So earlier you talked about achieving the top 500, which you felt very proud of. You reached the top 200, and you reached your career high ranking. What did that milestone mean to you?
No, of course, I was very happy that finally the results came, because I did practice hard. I was not like a lazy guy. I did practice hard. I did travel a lot. I did invest a lot in my career, so I was very happy. But also, I have to say, was for the mentality I had back there, it was kind of normal. I mean, 140 was good, but of course, you want to keep on. My goal was or is still top 100. So you kind of are happy, but you cannot enjoy it too much and just say, okay, I'm 140, I don't need to do anything. So you still have your ambitions, your goals. But yes, it was my first goal I had when I started my career was to play the Grand Slam qualies, which I achieved 2024, so 2 years ago. This made me very happy, but of course I had another one, the goal top 100, and this is what I'm working towards now.
When I talked with Moaz, he said about some changing points was when he didn't watch the rankings anymore. He didn't care much about the ranking, and he didn't see every week where he is. How do you keep up with the rankings? Do you make sure to see where you are? How are you advancing, or do you have another approach?
No, he's totally right. I think it helps also to not see the ranking. I also know this, of course. I mean, it's because like my point of view is the level keeps, like the result will come if the level is there. So if you practice hard, your level gets better, the result will eventually come and you will be a top ranked player. The problem is also you want to play tournaments, bigger tournaments, you want to get in Grand Slam qualies, so you need a specific ranking to get in there. So if you don't have the ranking, you don't get into the tournament. So you kind of forced to check the rankings. But of course, Moes was right. If you see it long term, it's always better to look at your level, to improve, to get a better tennis player, and then the results will come. This is what I would suggest to someone who's a little bit younger, because this ranking system can make a lot of pressure, put pressure to you, on yourself, from other people, and then make you play like scared, frightened maybe. So for a younger guy, it's always important, I think, to keep improving first, and then maybe later look on to the ranking.
Okay, you talked about one of your main goals was to get to the qualifiers of the Grand Slams. Last year, you reached the main draw in Roland Garros, and you became the first Lebanese player to play in a main draw of the clay tournament, the clay Grand Slam. What did that moment mean to you?
No, I was very happy. I mean, I can play good on all surfaces, I would say. So I can play good on hard court. I don't have a preferred surface, so I can play good on hard court, clay and grass. With the Grand Slams, it's sometimes a little bit also of the draw, the luck you get for the draw, because I feel like nowadays everyone can qualify. Sometimes also the people or the players where you least expect to qualify, they qualify. So it's always a little bit special at the Grand Slams. I was very happy, especially also after Hadi with his big run in Australia. To do the same as him, almost the same. I mean, he won one more round in the main draw. I couldn't do that, unfortunately. But it meant a lot for me, a lot also for Lebanese tennis, for the Arabic tennis world. I think we're going a good way. We have 2 top players for Lebanon now. We just need to play that level also in Davis Cup, which we couldn't. But it's also tough with Davis Cup. It's always different. It was very nice. I was also close for Wimbledon after to qualify. This one gave me a nightmare, but it's fine.
Yeah, I think in Wimbledon it was on the third round is the moment for when you play the best to 3. And, you were up 2 sets, I guess.
No.
2-1.
So I beat first round at Djokovic, second round Skulkate, third round I played Misolic, who was upcoming. He was close to top 100 or top 100. I think I was 6-2, 4-1 up. Then I had some match points, either at 5-3 or tiebreak, I don't remember, but I had 2 match points in that set. I lost the set. Third set, 5-3 for me. 30 all, rain coming down. We had to stop. Then 2 more match points on my serve. Lost the set in the tiebreak. And then the 4th set, he was better. So I could have won, of course, but I was 3 sets, I would say I was the better player and still lost the 2 sets, the second and the third set. And then the 4th set, I was mentally drawn and he was also better than me, I had to say.
How can a tennis player overcome these kinds of defeats? Especially tennis, we know it's a very hard sport. And as you said, you can lose every week. So how can you overcome these losses?
I mean, you're kind of used to it because you lose every week. But if it's like a special loss in a big tournament, I feel like the most important thing is that you have someone in your team who helps you with getting the right thoughts in the moment. I remember after Wimbledon, I was very pissed and sad. And then my coach, Hassan Ibrahim, who's also Lebanese but born in Germany, he told me, man, look what you achieved. You played quarterfinals, you played against a good guy, you beat Skulkate before, who was top 100. You qualified for French Open, so think about the positive things you did this year. Of course it's sad, of course you were unlucky that you lost this match, he told me. But just look overall what you did at the Grand Slams, what you did at the bigger tournaments this year. So he was just trying to get me some positive vibes, from the positive things I did this year. Yeah, and I think it helps when you hear some other voices which are going in a positive way and not your own thoughts which go in a negative way. So it's always, I think, a big help from the team.
Okay. I noticed in your career you played a lot also doubles, and you won many titles in doubles. Did you shift now from doubles and concentrated only on singles, or you consider yourself like a doubles and singles players? Because also in the rankings you are like good in both doubles and singles.
No, I like to play doubles. It's fun. But I see it mainly as practice, so I can do some more serves, some more returns, and also a match practice is always different than a regular practice where you just go on court and you're maybe not 100% there, but you still go on court and practice. But in the match, you are always 100% there. You're always there. You want to win. But mainly, I played doubles because, I was good, but also because some other doubles guys asked me to play with them. And I have one good friend, David Vega, which I played a lot with. We met in the Bundesliga where we played also some doubles club matches. So he asked me, and then it worked out. We played well in club matches. We played well in tournaments. So if it's possible, I'd like to do both. But for now, I'm still focusing more on singles because I still see some potential there. Doubles is fun. I'd like to play sometimes, but it can also be demanding, let's say you win the Challenger final on Saturday, then you have to be Monday on the next tournament. You don't have time to travel, So Sunday you need to travel, Monday you play singles again. This is always a very tough part. So it makes for me now only sense if I have some more tournaments in the same spot. So if there's 2 challengers on the same spot, then the first week I will play doubles. The second I will see.
Okay, so talk about doubles. Has playing doubles helped straighten your single games in any aspect?
Yeah, I think so. For the serve, as I said, it's better. For the return, and then also the reaction at the volley. It's a different volley in doubles than in singles. But still, you do more volleys, you do more repetitions, it goes more onto your head. So those are the 3, I think, factors or keys which help for singles also, like serve, return, and volleying. And the rest is more like strategic and where do I go from there, where do you go, which you actually don't need in singles. You just need it in doubles. But yeah, for serve, return, and volleys, it's been a big help, yeah.
Okay. So we talked about representing Lebanon. You talked about Davis Cup. Today, Lebanese tennis have 2 great players, yourself and Hadi Habib, who reached the main draw in Australian Open and even the second round. What does this mean for you before representing Lebanon in the Davis Cup?
It's always very special to present Lebanon. We were a little bit unlucky, I think, now with a politic situation there now. So the last ties we couldn't play at home, unfortunately, which we wanted very bad. We wanted to play at home because after his Australia season, me in French Open, we thought we would have a nice atmosphere when we play in Lebanon, but unfortunately we couldn't. No, but Davis Cup is always nice. We're a big family. It's always funny. It's always different to the tournaments because there we are singles players. We go alone. You're always alone. You're looking for yourself. But in the Davis Cup, we're a team. We help each other on our game. We enjoy a lot. We eat together. We play some Mario Kart, something like this. We have some funny times. No, it's been very special. We just, as I said before, we need a little bit of luck. To get drawn to a good team. To qualify for World Group 1, which was our goal, but it's tough. We had some tough teams or unlucky, or one of us was injured, the other one was sick, something like this. So yeah, we need a little bit of luck, and then eventually our dream comes true to go up to World Group 1.
And talking about the draw in the second group, now you have a match against your neighbors, Syria, who did a great achievement reaching the second group for the first time in their history. How do you see this matchup against the Syrian team?
No, they have. I mean, the only actual person I know is Hazem. Of course, I know his brother also because he was living in Germany or still living in Germany. Yaoub Makhzoum was there also playing, I remember, but I don't know the second guy. I've seen him.
It's Taim Al-Azma.
Time, yeah. I don't. Maybe I've seen him, but I don't know how he plays, to be honest. No, I'm very proud of them. I mean, Hazem is a good player. I know him very well. He came back from an injury, I think, so it was also tough for him. No, but he's having his level now. He's getting there, and hopefully we'll have a good tie and a lot of fun also. Because I mean, we're the same Arabs, so we're probably gonna enjoy it. And then let's see.
Okay, since like your ambition is to get to the top 100, obviously it's the ambition of every tennis player that starts playing tennis. How important are the Futures tournament and Challengers tournament to reach those level? And what's the difference, since you played both the Futures and Challengers and some ATP tournaments? What's the difference between each tournament?
So yeah, the Future tournament is the starting point, I would say, where you also get in if you maybe don't have a good ranking, and then yeah, you need to get good results to go quickly up to the challenger level, which I did actually. So I played fewer Futures, also because it didn't suit my game. I mean, there's different rules. For example, the ball change. You have ball change at 11:13. And challengers or ATPs, it's 7-9. So that's, for me, it's a big role. I don't like to play with older balls. Yeah, so you try to move up a step to go to the challenger level. And the challenger level is very important, I would say, because there you can get some good points. As you can see now in the top 100, there's a lot of guys who started with challengers. Very few guys who actually just straight won an ATP and then are in the top 100. So everyone almost came from the Challenger Tour. Yes, they're very important. But I also see now a little bit of, how do you say, struggle, because they put some more 50 events now. So it's like lower Challenger level where you get not that many points. This I see difficult, because with 50 points you don't go anywhere, I think. I mean, you need to win the tournament, and I mean, the challenger level is a really good level. Also the future level, the ITF. Everyone can play. It doesn't matter if you're 500, 600, 700. Everyone is good. Everyone can play. There's no easy draw. And then to play 50 against good guys, I feel like it's very tough. Yeah, you need to figure out.
And I want to ask you, do you have the same feeling about many players says that the difference is more mentally between the three levels, that like there are a lot of players that are in this top, like outside of the top 500, top 600, but they can reach high level if the mental game is stronger. Do you share the same idea?
Yeah, of course. I share the same view. Of course, if you, for example, you come from a future level and then you play your first challengers, you may be a bit nervous, so you lose in the beginning. But then I think if you step up one level, you go to the challenger level, you get a confidence boost. You know, you want to try harder. It's the same like playing in a big crowd in a big stadium. You get a confidence boost, you're motivated more. So I see that as very important. This is now the same for me also. If I play some ATPs, I'm more motivated. I'm trying to give it my all. I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna behave well. I'm positive. I believe in myself. So this is always what you have when you go one level up with the tournaments. But the mental toughness is also to do this level of performance on the Challenger Tour, where you go back. This is what I have been struggling. So I'm very motivated and I play well in big tournaments and against big names because I want to beat them. But also to have this kind of attitude, this kind of mentality on the lower tournaments where no one is watching, where no one cares how you play. This is the most important thing. And I think if you take one role model, I would say it's Nadal who did this the best. It didn't matter against. See the picture in the racket.
Well, I'm a big fan of Rafael
Yeah.
Nadal.
No, but this is what he does unbelievable. Like, it doesn't matter where he played, doesn't matter against who he played. He always took his opponent serious. He always gave 100%, and didn't matter where he was, what tournament it was, what level he played. So this is, for me now, the toughest part.
Okay, and I see a lot of players talking about this. Obviously, the struggles outside of the top 100, and as we talk, financially, it's very difficult. Logistically, it's very difficult. How do you think either the ATP or the ITF, what role they play to make it easier for the players? Do you have any experience with that, and also what improvements you see that they can do to make it easier for tennis players outside of the top 100?
Yes, so the ATP, they did some improvements. They had a program, it's called a baseline program, where you have a secured payment at the end of the year if you are on a specific rank. So if you're top 100, you get like 300k. If you're top 150 or 175, you get 150k guaranteed at the end of the year. And if you're top 250, you get, I think it was 75k. So this is guaranteed money you get when you achieve this ranking. I mean, if you play the Grand Slams qualies and you do okay, I would say, it's okay to live from. Or at least you can finance your tennis career from it. Not to live from, because you can't buy anything, you can't buy an apartment or something, but you can keep on playing tennis. The struggle is if you're outside of the 250 and you can't play the Grand Slam qualies, then it might get tough because the prize money is not that high. You need to do well. You have a lot of costs. If you don't have a sponsorship or a sponsor, you have a lot of costs which you have to pay. Stringer, coach, as I said before, hotel, everything, traveling, flights. Flights are getting so expensive. It's a joke after COVID. Yeah, this is tough, but they're doing some improvements. The ATP, they do some improvements, of course, but yeah, you cannot compare the sport to soccer, for example, where everything is gonna get paid. You don't have to do anything. Yeah, the single sports are very tough.
Yeah, tennis players live more stress because their well-being and financial well-being depends on them doing well on the court. While football players, for example, win or lose, they get their salary at the end of the year or the month.
Yeah, no other expenses also, no.
What did you say?
They don't have other expenses. I mean, they don't pay the bus to go to your next tournament, or they don't pay, the hotel.
Everything is paid for, even
paid by the club
even
with
their shoes and everything. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
And you talked about the sponsors. Do you have any sponsors? And if you do, when did you get them? Is it after you reached out a certain level, or in the beginnings?
No, I never had sponsors. After French last year, I had a good friend of mine who sponsored me, with a logo also on the shirt. And then nothing financial, actually. So I have one pharmacist in Germany who helps me, which is a big help, actually, because I need a lot of stuff like tapes and vitamins and the stuff.
Of course.
He helps me with that. But financial sponsors, it's very tough. Especially now, I mean, I'm 31. I can understand why people don't want to sponsor me, because I'm 31. They think, okay, I might stop. But yeah, unfortunately, I never had luck with this. So I try to do it my own way. I keep saying to myself that I don't need sponsors.
Okay.
This is probably the easiest way.
Yeah. Okay. Now we've seen you play in the ATP 500 in Dubai. You got the invitation, I believe, from the federation, the tennis federation of the UAE, or
This I don't know from who I got it.
okay. So
No,
they told you had a wild card.
No, I just So I asked for a wild card.
Okay.
Put an email to the tournament director, And then on Friday, he responded to me, the tournament director. So probably I got it from him, from Salah, on Friday. Yes.
Okay. So in the week, the draw, you play against, we talked about a legend, Rafael Nadal. You played against another legend, Stan Wawrinka, a Grand Slam champion for 3 times. And also someone was in the stadium watching you, another legend, a 20 times Grand Slam winner, Roger Federer. Before talking about Roger, how did you feel playing against Wawrinka? Like he's a legend. This obviously this year will be his last year. What did you tell yourself before going on the court to play Wawrinka?
No, I mean, I was special, of course. To play Wawrinka in his last season is always special. No, I remember because I came Friday evening. I mean, I knew that I had the wildcard Friday, so I took the flight Friday evening through the night, arrived Saturday morning. I had the draw at 1. Then I knew I play against Wawrinka, and then I had to practice already. Yeah? So I had to practice, find some strategic things I want to do against Stan, which is not easy because he knows the game, he reads the game very well. There's a reason why he won 3 Grand Slams and also beat everyone. I mean, he beat Novak, he beat Roger, he beat Rafa. So yeah, he has a lot of experience, even though he's 40 or 41 now. But I mean, just to play him was very nice. But of course, I wanted also to win. You know, I mean, it's a big step for me also if I win this match, and also for the points.
And I watched the game. It wasn't an easy game for
Wawrinka. No, I feel like actually I played okay. I would say I didn't play my best. I didn't play bad also. So I was okay. I had my chances in the second set also to come back. So the level was okay. The performance was okay. I just regret, or I wish I could have known earlier that I get the wild card to practice earlier, because 2 days was not, or 1.5 days was not enough. I had no time to practice on the center court, which was a little bit different than the practice courts. But for that, I played good level.
Okay. So during the game, we watched Roger Federer watching from the stands. Did you know that he will be there, or did you know while playing, or after the game?
After. I didn't know. I didn't see him. I was in the zone. I was also, after the match, when I knew he was there, I thought to myself, why they didn't put the camera on his face and the people go crazy normally, no? Because if they see Roger,
well, on TV we saw him.
yeah, but I didn't recognize anything. I didn't recognize the camera pointing to him, and also the crowd going crazy for him. I didn't recognize. Maybe it happened, but I was in the zone. Yeah. So, as I said in a previous interview in Dubai, I just felt the aura when I was doing the signatures for the fans. And then I was feeling something behind me. I turned around, then he was there with some bodyguards, with the tournament director. I was just trying to get out of the way, you know, because I didn't want to be in his way. I didn't know where he was going. So, it was very funny. And then he came up to me and said, "Good match." And then I said, "Thank you," in German. And he looked a bit surprised. And then he was talking to Stan, and the family was greeting Stan. And then after 10 minutes after, or 20 minutes after, when I did the interview, we met again in the restaurant. And then I asked him for a picture again in German. He said, yeah, come. And then he asked me, why you speak German? Did you live in Germany? Or I said, yeah, I was born and raised in Germany. My parents from Lebanon. I said, okay, like me, so multicultural. My mom's South Africa, my father's from the Swiss. And we had a little bit of a laugh. And then, it was tough, because he's waiting there for 40 minutes doing really like pictures and everything to the guys. You don't want to take too much time of him, you know. So, but it was very nice. It was a privilege.
Oh, of course, and I think it's very special to meet like the legend of the game himself. So after looking ahead in your career, after the milestones like reaching Roland Garros main draw, competing against big names, what are your next targets now in tennis?
Um, of course, I mean, I dropped a bit now because I didn't play so well, which is normal, I would say, on the tour. If you don't perform like last year, you lose the points directly. This is the tough part about the ranking, about the system. Um, of course, it would be nice to get in French Open to defend my points and to play, but I need to have some good results for that. I feel like for me now, which is very important, is to get mentally ready because I was not. I played too many tournaments. I was very tired the last year and this year also. So the most important thing for me is to get mentally ready because I feel like the strokes are there. Of course there's improvement, but it's not like my level is so bad. When you see me play, my forehand and backhand is so bad. It's more of a mental way to have the freshness to go to every tournament. Because this is, I feel like, what is now missing. I'm tired, I go to a tournament tired, I lose, I'm tired, I go to the next tournament tired, so there's no really freshness in my brain, Like my mental state is a little bit, how do you say, drought? No. Dry? I don't know, something like this. For sure tired.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get that a little bit with a little bit of breaks, with a little bit of breaks in between the tournaments. I don't want to keep on playing so many tournaments in a row. So this is what I said earlier, also the structure of the tournaments, which is very important. But I feel like when I get the hang out of it and I'm good mentally, then I can perform well and achieve my goals.
So just want to ask you, lately in Dubai, Dani Medvedev talked about the point system, and he talked about how the other tournaments other than the Masters and the Grand Slam should not have points, so the players can be more free to not go to defend points. What do you think about that, knowing that players that are outside of the top 100 need those points to go up? Do you think his way of thinking is legitimate, or he's just thinking about the players in the top 100?
I don't know exactly what he said, so I hear it the first time from you. So he said the lower tournaments, ATPs also, they shouldn't have points?
The ATP 500, 250, the players shouldn't defend points, so they can choose. Because he says mainly he plays other tournaments now to just defend points, or because he needs points to reach some level, or if he doesn't play, other players will gain points and take the ranking more than him. So that's what was his view.
Okay.
And a lot of people said, well, other players need points, so how can we do this?
Okay, so that means if he doesn't have to defend his points, he has no struggle to stay up there, no? Or it's easier for him to stay up there?
Kind of, because only points that will count for him will be Masters and Grand Slams.
So how do other people get into top 100 then?
Exactly, that's...
So then I feel this is a way to protect the top 100, to not let anyone enter. I don't know if this is the right way. Of course, for him it would be good. For me, it would be not good.
Yeah.
I don't know a solution for this system. I really don't know. But I mean, it's always been like this. Of course, maybe it needs a change. But I don't know, to not give points for the lower tournaments just because they can get the spots and keep on staying in the top 100 or don't need to do so well. I mean, we also have to defend our points or to get good results to achieve a higher ranking. So this is actually fair. I mean, it's even tougher for us because we get less points, we get lesser tournaments. We have only the 50s almost every week now. I feel like we're coming already to a way where they protect the top 100, where they don't want people from challengers to enter the top 100 by inventing every tournament a 50. This is the feeling I have. I don't know if it's the goal, but this is the feeling I have. So it's already tough from challengers to go to top 100. And I feel like
so obviously you need the points, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if they do it the way Daniel said now, it's going to be impossible for us to achieve that.
Okay, we have in our show, since our show is called الصقر, the hawk eye, we have a part where I ask you, I give you some things, like some words and you tell me in or out for you.
You have something now for me? I need to be focused now?
Well, I will just tell you. I will just tell you. So I'll tell you one thing and you tell me is it for you, in or out.
Okay.
So, paddle.
Out.
Night sessions.
In.
Ice bath.
In.
Social media.
In and out.
Coffee.
In.
And playing the Davis Cup.
In, for sure.
Okay, Benjamin, I want to thank you very much for accepting our invitation.
Did you start with paddle? Was a joke.
I started also in the last episode. I started with paddle. Also, the same player, right? Lebnani said out. So
no, I never played. So I want to try it, but I never played paddle.
As a big tennis fan, I'm glad.
Yes.
So I want to thank you. It was very a big pleasure to have you on the show and to talk to you. And if you have a last word for the Arab fans and especially the Lebanese fans that are following us.
Yes, thank you very much for inviting me to the podcast. No, I don't have actually one because they're doing a great job. They keep on supporting over the world. So the only thing is to keep on doing that and support us as much as you can.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Benjamin.
Thank you very much. Thank you.